Hi everybody, today we are going to talk about satin balls. So if you have an Alaskan Klee Kai or any puppy or dog for that matter that struggles with gaining weight or keeping their weight on, maybe they're a picky eater and they don't always want to eat their food, this is a recipe that you can make for your dog, and it is relatively simple, and you can freeze them. And so we are going to go over that with you guys now and show you exactly how we make it and how you can store them. I will also add the recipe in the description below so that you can print it off or make a copy for yourself. So what you are going to need is a box of total cereal. So it's going to be a large box of total cereal. You are going to need 10 packets of the unflavored gelatin. You are going to need a large tub of steel oat, 1 jar of wheat germ, 1 jar of molasses, 10 eggs. You're going to use the whole egg, so it will be the shell and everything. And then 10 pounds of hamburger meat. And your hamburger meat needs to be the cheapest, most fatty content hamburger meat there is. So 10 pounds of hamburger meat. And then you will need 1 1/4 cup of olive oil, a pinch of salt. Once you get all of that into a bowl, you will mix in your wet ingredients. And then after that is all mixed, you're going to add your 10 pounds of hamburger meat, your oil, your molasses, and your eggs. And for this part, I like to put on a pair of gloves because it's messy, it's dirty. And when you start mixing all of this together, your hands are going to get a little sore if you're crunching all of the cereal with no protection. And so what we're going to do now is we are going to get the second bowl here. I'm going to put all of this hamburger meat into a bowl. And this recipe is 100% raw hamburger meat, so you're not going to cook it. It will be raw, and your dogs will love it. They will gain weight rather quickly. Now, this is a lot of hamburger meat, so if you are not wanting to make such a big batch, I will also put in the description below the recipe for a half of a batch, so that way for those of you who just want a smaller pack. So what I'm doing is I'm just separating out, because this is such a big batch that I won't be able to get everything in here all at the same time. And so now what I'm going to do is crush up my eggs. And so since I pulled half of my hamburger meat out, I'm only going to put 5 in here. And all you're going to do is break them up. So I'm just breaking them shell and all, and mix this really well. And it's also a lot easier if you have somebody else here to help you pour the items in, so that you don't have to stop with these dirty gloves and keep pouring things. So the goal is to make a bowl of all of your wet ingredients and then a bowl with all of your dry ingredients. And then once you've mixed all of your wet ingredients together, then you can mix them into your dry. So now we're going to add the molasses. Now I'm going to add my 1 1/4 cup of virgin oil. Okay, so now you have mixed all of your wet ingredients and your dry ingredients, and now we have to combine them together to make our satin balls. So there's a couple ways you can do this. You can actually make balls if you do make the actual ball. It should be, depending on the size of your dog, but for most Alaskan Klee Kai, it's going to be a woman's size fist, so that's going to be the size of your ball. And if it's a smaller dog or a puppy, you could make it half of that size, or you can make patties. So whenever you're mixing, you're going to want to make sure that you keep rotating and flipping your wet product into the dry because a lot of the dry is on the bottom. And so you're just going to be squeezing, mixing it all together, keep flipping it until there's nothing left on the bottom of the bowl and it's all mixed in. So now what we're going to do is make our balls. Now I have all of my satin balls, and now I can actually bag them up and throw them in the freezer. Everything is packaged. We have a total of 45 satin balls, and I did a few as patties so that you can see with just paper to separate them. And then the way I packaged the balls is just like this. But just remember, if you put them in the freezer as balls, you want to make sure that they're separated when you lay them down, so that way whenever you take them out, they're not all stuck together. And so that is all it takes to make satin balls to help add a little weight to your dog. If you guys enjoyed this topic, please make sure to give us a thumbs up, and please make sure to subscribe to our channel so that you are notified when we do go live every Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. and also anytime we post any videos about Alaskan Klee Kai or anything that has to do with training and education for the breed. Again, thank you for joining us. Until next time, bye!